All right, we're in the work truck today, so it might be a little bit bouncy. But I had something on my mind. I wanted to get out there before I forgot about it. A lot of times we want to hurry up and fix our little problems, little things that we can improve to make life easier, to make us more efficient. And once we do, we're just so glad it's over. We just move on and we forget about it. And then what happens one day, 5, 10 years down the road, a new guy comes up and says, "Hey, I'm struggling with these things." Then you get answers like what I've gotten when I started, just kind of like, you got to push through it and find something that works. And it's like, okay, I want to answer like a real answer. What did you do exactly? How many days did it take you? What things happened? Um, I really want to get real answers, real feedback. And they don't mean any harm by it, but once you've moved on for so long, then it's kind of old news. Anyway, here we go. So I found myself answering questions I didn't think I needed to answer, or giving updates more often than I thought, or just getting that feeling from the customer that they just want more and more information. My first response is, "That's annoying. These are these are things that you don't really need to know, but what it is they're just not getting the feedback." So when you're running around all day doing multiple jobs, they're not, and so they don't know that you're busy. They don't know if you're on schedule or if you're off schedule or what's happening. So they start feeling like, hey, it's been forever. Especially if they've already, if they give a large deposit, they're going to want to know that you still exist and that you care. Now the problem is, I've already, like, for this situation in particular I'm talking about, um, this is a job for a designer. It's a designer's client, I should say, and I'm not helping them pick out any material like I normally would. I'm not picking out colors or fixtures or anything like that. The designer is. So I'm literally just waiting for the designer to give me that email saying, "Hey, here's all the selections. When can you start?" So the day I went there, I told the lady, "We're about 6 weeks out from starting your project, give or take, but we'll let you know if anything changes." 2 weeks later, the designer hits me up and says, "Hey, she hasn't heard anything. She wants to know what's going on. She hasn't heard anything from anybody." It's like, okay, it's only been 2 weeks. I told her that we're about almost 2 months out. And so I was like, all right, I'll shoot her an email. This is on a Monday, 2 weeks in. I said, "Hey, we're looking forward to your project. We're still on track. We'll be there in about 4 weeks. We'll let you know if anything changes." And she was excited. She said, "Thank you so much, and we look forward to it." And I said, "Yeah, we look forward to it too, because we do." Um, then 1 week later, I get a message from the designer again, like, "Hey, no one's reaching out to her. No one's saying anything. She's just like wants an update of when things are going to start and if we're on schedule." So I was like, okay. I showed the designer the text messages just so that she knew that I wasn't ignoring her client and being unprofessional. But I was like, is a weekly update not enough? Am I just being hard headed? And we both were kind of like, something's up here. And I've run into situations before where it's an older client and they're not working anymore. They're not going to work. They're not doing anything. They're sitting around the house. So time goes by very slow. So when they don't hear something for 2 days, they're like, "What's going on? Where are you? When are you starting?" They just ask over and over. So how do you get ahead of that? There's a few things. First of all, a customer like that could A, be forgetful. B, they could be dealing with like memory loss, dementia, Alzheimer's, something like that. It could be early stages where they just kind of slip a little bit. So, keep that in consideration, but don't tell them that. um, some people are just super impatient, and that is something that you should catch when you're screening them. When you go out there to do your first meeting and you're screening your clients, you need to catch on to those kind of things and learn how to ask questions just to get an idea of, what people are like. So, the other thing, it could be someone that is just They could have been burnt by another contractor and they're scared, and they could be malicious. They could just be out to make you look bad, so they have this long email chain where I'm always asking for information. He didn't tell me what's going on. So you got a lot of things to consider. But none of that really matters because it's an easy way. There's an easy way that you can take care of that. If you don't have an office assistant, for one, you can have an AI assistant that will respond. So that way, at least you get the check in the box. There was a response and someone answered. That's okay. You can get on your Gmail or whatever. I think, and Outlook does it too. You can schedule emails. So you can just come up with a generic check-in email, schedule it for every Wednesday at 9:30 or whatever, and send it. So they're getting feedback from you every Wednesday. Another thing you can do, the best thing you can do, is a combination of things. One, when you meet them, you tell them how far out you are, and you have in your contract or email, or at least tell them somehow in writing so you can refer back to it. You just say, hey, this is how frequently I'm going to reach out to you. Say we're 4 months out. I'm going to reach out to you on the 1st and 15th of each month, give you an update. And once we get within 3 weeks, it'll be more of a daily thing or every other day when we double check on things, make sure that everything's still on track on your side too. Tell them it'll be every 4 weeks. When we hit week 4, it'll turn into bi-weekly or whatever the schedule is. So now they know in their head what's going to happen. Then you schedule those automatic emails to go out. That way you avoid any kind of you forgot and starting problems, and just let them know. And especially when you get within 2 weeks, maybe do it every Tuesday, Thursday, if you identify them as a needy customer. Regardless, you should know right away what kind of customer you're dealing with, and you just adjust. If you're a business owner of any type, you need to go ahead and get ready for all these situations anyways. So don't get bent out of shape about it and say, I'm not dealing with it. Fix the problem, because it'll happen again. But after you fix it the first time, now you've got a solution. So, you've got a plan already in case it happens again. You just rinse and repeat. Now, next time, it doesn't turn into a problem. That's what we did this time. I've run into customers like this before. I was not ready. I got frustrated. It was holding me up. So we got things in place. So I reached out to to that lady, and kind of at our normal frequency. And after she said that the second time, before she got irritated, I was like, nope, here we go. Put her on the Tuesday, Thursday plan. Let her know what's going on. Over communicate until she says, hey, I got it. Don't harass them. But every Tuesday, Thursday, we're sending her an update. We're going to over communicate with her, and we're going to avoid this. She's going to be happy. We're going to be happy, and we're going to keep moving. So don't get frustrated. Come up with a good plan. Most people are not trying to be a pain in the butt. But you just think about it. If you handed over $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more, especially with the reputation of contractors in general, you would want someone to give you some attention to make sure you didn't skip town. So just be smart about it. Be a good person about it, and get it done. Get it over with, and you'll be in good shape. If they're a huge nightmare, just use subcontractors so you don't have to sit in their house all day, every day, and then just get that project wrapped up quick without you having to stay there every day. That's another trick. So anyway, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what ideas you have, and y'all be good.